Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. There's a look at what's playing tonight. Dancing with the Stars at 8 and a lot more dancing on the hit show Smash at 10 o'clock. Joining us now in studio from the Bariatric Medical Institute, the founder, Dr. Yoni Freedhoff. Great to have you here on the show.
Good morning, thanks.
But what's really been catching a lot of attention is your blog, Weighty Matters, and it's a ton of fun to read it.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a lot of fun writing it, although sometimes it makes me mad. But, you know, there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think that's part of what we're talking about today.
Absolutely. We're overwhelmed with information. Do we, you know, sometimes it's saying it's good to eat certain foods, like the red meats, and then it's the bad. And it's overwhelming what we are, what's being thrown at us.
Yeah, I can't imagine how people who don't have a background in this really deal, because on a daily basis you'll have a report that says red meat's good for you, red meat's bad for you, white rice is bad for you, chocolate is great for you. You know, today on my Twitter feed I found at least 3 items that talked about specific foods and their health benefits. And the thing is that you can't look at specific foods and actually really conclude anything, because we don't do studies where we would take, you know, thousands of people and feed them otherwise identical diets, but substitute one difference in their diets. And so what happens is we have to rely on these really large observational studies where we watch thousands of people for many, many years, and we try to tease out the differences between those people. But it's a very challenging thing to do. So
what do people do, though, with the information? I mean, you've got some products listed right here, and it's the rice, it's the meat, it's the chocolate. We're making decisions every day based on information that we might be reading or might not be reading.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's really unfair to the media, actually, as well as the consumers, because the journals that publish these studies are often the ones responsible for the hype. So with dark chocolate, you know, certainly most people have come across some reference somewhere about dark chocolate being healthy for you. And that comes from the British Medical Journal. They did this meta-analysis of studies, and they put out a press release with an embargoed press release that said, it's official, chocolate is linked to heart health. And of course, that's what the media ran with. It was the press release from the British Medical Journal. But if you actually read the study on the chocolate, you'd find that none of the studies that were involved actually controlled for things properly. Almost none of them controlled for other dietary factors, meaning that it didn't matter what else you ate. They didn't care about that, yet we know what we eat affects our heart health. You know, and then there were some studies that didn't look at physical activity or socioeconomic status, which also matter. But they put out this press release because they want attention to their journal. Same thing with white rice. So this white rice, we had to hunt for it. It's actually from 1991 from my in-laws' cupboard.
There's none in your house.
No, we couldn't find any in our house. So I went to my in-laws, and they clearly didn't have much either. This study's fascinating, too, also out of the British Medical Journal, where it was a very weak study with very poor observational controls, so bad that the BMJ also co-published an editorial saying, you know what, this isn't a very good study and you can't really draw any conclusions, but their press release that was sent out to the media was very powerful.
And what was the press release stating?
Stating that eating white rice will markedly increase your risk of diabetes, and that's what hit the newspapers, and go figure. You know, Mark Twain, he has a lot of good witty comments, and one of his comments was, you know, people who don't read the newspaper are uninformed, and people who do read the newspaper are misinformed. And, you know, when it comes to nutrition information, I'd say that's true, but I don't blame the media. I blame the journals.
Okay, well, where does the person at home go with this information? Because they're about to go to the grocery store. Do they buy it? Do they not? Do they buy it? Do they not? How much do they consume? So where are we left with?
I think the simplest rule for consumers is just eat whole foods regularly. I mean, we know what's true. We know what's healthy. We know that cooking with more fruits and vegetables on a regular basis is a good idea. We know reducing the processed meats in our lives is probably a good idea too, and that white, you know, we should try and avoid the white stuff if we can. But really, hanging our hat on one food killing us and one food saving us, you can rest assured that that information is likely dramatically overblown and not based on well-designed trials, because we simply can't do those kinds of trials.
You have some amazing information. Weightmatters.ca is the blog, weightmatters.ca. It's a ton of fun to be able to follow you on Twitter, because there's always information and definitely an opinion to go with that.
Yes, I do have an opinion. Thank you.
And how things good at the Bariatric Medical Institute. Institute?
Everything's going great. Thanks very much.
If you're looking for more information, especially on weight loss, and for those of you who are really at an obese state, there's always some great information, and got a lot of clients that are really thanking you for saving their lives. We're going to head over to the kitchen now. I know we're cooking healthy, and I know it's always incredibly tasty with the Chateau Laurier.